Okay, welcome back. This is John Howell here with you with your ultimate results session, or another session should I say. And in this session we're going to talk about how to overcome 90% of all your problems in no time flat. See, most people out there, when they're trying to achieve a target, when they're trying to achieve goals, when they're trying to achieve anything out there, as we know, most people out there, they come across what we call problems. Right? If they're trying to lose weight, they come across problems where, they just can't get out of bed, or they can't get motivated, or stuff like that, okay? Some issues come up. Now, this is the interesting thing about this topic here, is how to overcome your problems here. Because think about this for a minute, okay? Just think about this for a minute. When we're trying to overcome our problems, it's actually quite simple how to do that. Okay, now hear me out here. When they're trying to focus on overcoming problems, what do they normally do to themselves? Well, firstly, they start asking themselves the wrong questions, like, how could this happen to me? I swear this trade was going to be a good trade. I swear this investment was going to be a good investment. This problem here, it's a big problem now. Okay, so you start asking yourselves the wrong questions, like, why is this happening to me? And how could this happen to me? And is this gonna go on forever? If you start asking what we call those negative questions, okay, those negative questions like, why is this happening to me, and how is this happening to me, and how long is this going to keep happening for? What we are doing, we're essentially setting ourselves up for failure. What I mean by that is this: when we are asking ourselves those questions around those problems, our brain is a machine, right? And if we ask our brain those types of questions, then our brain has no choice but to answer those questions. So, for example, let me say something here. If you're trying to lose weight, and if you're just struggling to lose weight, and if you said, why can't I lose weight? Okay, that's a negative question, right? So your problem, your target is you're trying to lose weight. Your problem is you just can't get up out of bed early to go to the gym or go for a run or whatever. Okay, that's basically your problem here. Well, if you say, why can't I get out of bed and go exercise to lose weight? Why can't I get motivated? Well, what's going to happen is, with that type of question, it's going to answer you in a negative way. So if for example, you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to get out of bed, what will happen is, as soon as you start asking yourselves those questions, like, why can't I lose weight? Your brain's going to tell you, because you're a fat bastard, because you're lazy, because you're not focused, because you're not committed, and because simply you're just damn right lazy. Okay? And so what's that going to do? Is that going to encourage you to get out of bed and keep going? Or is it going to decompress your sort of energy there? Okay? It's going to compress your energy there, and therefore you're not going to do it. Okay? So, solving problems, no matter what problem it is, always starts with the question. Okay? The question needs to be a positive question. So, for example, instead of saying, why can't I lose weight? You should say this: how can I get out of bed in the morning and make it playful and fun and exciting? See, you can see the difference there? 1 minute you're saying, why can't I lose weight? Because they're going to tell you because you're a fat bastard, blah, blah, blah. But on the other question, that's a negative question. On the next question, it could be a positive question. You're commanding your brain to give you ideas of how you can overcome this particular obstacle. Okay? So, for example, if you say, how can I get out of bed being excited, enthusiastic, and ready to go? What are the types of things I need to do right now to start getting excited about losing weight? Or what are the type of things I need to do just excited to go about buy my first investment property, or sticking to the system, or whatever? Okay? So the first thing there we have to look at is our different questions we are asking ourselves. Is it a negative question you ask yourself, which most people do? Therefore, your momentum starts to go on a downward spiral. But if you're trying to achieve high, you're trying to be what we call a peak performer. Your momentum's high, things are moving. Then what we need to do is we need to focus on the questions we are asking ourselves. Are they negative or positive? If they're negative, you're going to get yourself in a negative spiral. If they're positive, like, how can I overcome this? Then what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing upward momentum, because your brain's now giving you ideas that you're commanding it to give you, than just simply giving you an answer why you can't do something. Okay? Because at the end of the day, if if you, for example, if you say, why do I keep losing money in the stock market? Well, that's a dead-end road. You know what I mean? So they ask, why do I keep losing money in the stock market? And your brain's going to tell you, because you're not focused, because you're not committed, etc., 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 etc. Okay? That's a dead-end road. You can't do anything with that sort of answer that the brain gives you. But if you move over here to a positive question and say, how can I make the stock market fun, playful, and enjoyment, and how can I consistently make profit out of the market? What is the thing that I'm missing? What do I need to source? What do I need to do? See how that's an open-ended question? And now your brain's now going to start telling you all these different answers around answering that question. And therefore those answers become your action steps, and those action steps generally lead to a particular result in your life. Okay? So that's the very first thing we need to do when focusing on overcoming our problems here. So the next thing that we need to do after defining the proper questions, that what we call a positive open-ended question and a negative-ended question, where you just simply go into a dead-end road. The next thing we need to do is you simply say, what meaning is this? Okay? See, most people out there, when they have a problem, it might be a small problem, what we call a small little blip in our life, or is it a catastrophe? Okay? You gotta ask yourself this question: is this a catastrophe or is this a blip? And most of the times, it's a blip, meaning it's only a small little issue that's stopping you, and most people just sort of get clogged up in this one little blip in their life, and they're sort of stuck on that, and they simply don't push through. Okay? So, is this a catastrophe or is this a blip? Now, moving forward after that, what meaning do you give to this particular problem? See, for example, a while ago, I had cancer, okay, and I was running a business, I was trading and investing, and I was helping people, and so on and so forth. And so I had cancer. So is that a blip or is that a catastrophe? Well, the meaning that I gave it after a while, at the start, I had no idea what to give it, okay? Was this a catastrophe or was this a blip? Most people believe it's a catastrophe, but me personally, I'm conditioned now to challenge what most people think. And then go get answers for myself. So when I had cancer, that was a problem, right? The problem was I had cancer. So the meaning that I gave to that this was a blip. And then the question I started asking myself was, how can I overcome this naturally healthy, and in the process, how can I make myself healthier and fitter, and so on and so forth? Okay? So those are the questions, but the meaning I gave to that, is a catastrophe, is a blip, is the question, catastrophe, blip, and then the meaning I gave to that was either two different things I could get it. Like, this is the end of my life, cancer's taking over my body right now, and I'm probably going to die soon. And that's what most people start to think when they have cancer, right? And they freak out, they go to the doctor, they try to get all this drug bumped into them just to flush it out. Okay? But with me, my meaning was, this is a chance to give my body a fresh beginning, because I hammered it with all this crap all the time, and very rarely did I exercise. I didn't really, I didn't really drink water a lot. All these different things that our body needs to re-energize and rejuvenate. All these different things I wasn't doing. So I either could say this is the end or this is the beginning. I actually said this was the beginning. I'm going to now do whatever I can to naturally remove the cancer. But not like that, but this is a chance for me to give my body a new beginning, a fresh beginning, re-energize, re-flush out all that crap, detox my body, okay, go exercise, lose those 20 kilos. And so because I gave the meaning that this is a fresh beginning, your life is now, your whole vision of your life is now turned around, right? Because you think about that, I had cancer. And if I went one way where I could have said, this is the end, I've got cancer, it's severe, it's taken out of my body, and this could be the end of my life. What's your vision like right now with this one little problem in your life? What's your vision like? Your vision is like, there's no chance going out there and trying to make more money, there's no chance going out there trying to be more fulfilled or happier. What's the point here? I'm probably going to die soon because this cancer's going to take over, right? That's what we call a negative sort of question or answer. And going towards that, what's going to happen? Your vision, because you gave that meaning towards that problem, your vision is now on what we call a downward spiral. You haven't got a bright vision. You're not excited to get up out of bed and do things and move, right? So that I could have given my cancer that sort of vision there. But what I did do And what I do say is this. Moving over to the other section, I said, no, this is a fresh beginning. This is a new beginning. This is fresh for me right now. Okay? And because I gave because I gave the meaning to my little problem, this is a fresh beginning. This is a fresh thing right now. It empowered me to get up out of bed, go exercise, eat healthy, flush my system out, and really feel good about what I was doing. Okay? And therefore, it motivated me to go out there and do more for my family and so on and so forth. So there's three main things here how you overcome problems really, really quickly. One, you start to ask yourself an open-ended positive question, not a negative-ended question. Negative-ended question is like, why is this happening to me? Your brain's going to tell you. If you're trying to lose weight and you can't lose weight, your brain's going to tell you because you're a fat bastard. Okay? And you're a slob and you're lazy. All these answers that it's simply going to decompress you or compress you down, where you simply don't want to move anymore. Or you can have an open-ended question like, how can I get out of bed, make it playful, fun, and just go exercise, at least jog every day? Okay, the question there. Now, the second thing we need to talk about with what we talked about here was the catastrophe or blip. Right? Is this a catastrophe? Is it a big catastrophe? Or is it a blip? And be honest with yourself. And most of the time, it's a blip. Okay? When I was doing really well and I was $250,000 in debt and trying to pay that off and living at my mother-in-law's place, and I lost everything. I lost the house, the BMW, all that sort of stuff. To me, that wasn't a blip. To me, that wasn't a catastrophe. Most people say, "Are you serious, John? You lost you had $250,000 in debt, and that was a catastrophe?" No, to me, it wasn't. It was a blip because that was the hump that I needed to get over to get to where I am today. Now looking back, okay. And then the third thing. So three things here. One, have a positive, open-ended question. Secondly, is this a catastrophe or a blip? And thirdly, what meaning are you giving this? What meaning are you giving to this issue, this problem, this catastrophe, whatever it is, okay? And even if it is a big thing in your life, we always can empower that little problem in our life or that catastrophe in our life. We always can empower ourselves to do better and more because of that issue there. Okay? So no matter what happens, no matter where we are going through our life, make sure you're keeping those three things in mind. I have a positive, open-ended question all the time. Secondly, make sure that you're asking yourself, is this a catastrophe or is it a blip? And be honest with yourself, okay? Most of the time, it's a blip. If it's a catastrophe, it doesn't mean it's the end. It just means it's the fresh beginning now. Okay? And thirdly, what meaning are you giving to this? Is this the end or is this the beginning? And it's up to you to ask those. And if you start to do those, every single time you have an issue come up, I guarantee if you start to say a positive, open-ended question, you start to say that this is just a small little problem, I can overcome this really quickly, and you start to give it a positive meaning, like, you know, I can overcome this, and once I overcome this, it's going to mean these positive things in my life. If you start to do this to your mind, you start to overcome problems much, much quicker because they just get wiped out really quickly, and you don't get stuck on these small little problems and sort of holding you back all the time. Okay, so I hope this has helped you with this session here. How to overcome your problems. 3 things. Have a positive, open-ended question. The second thing is it a blip or a catastrophe? Most of the time it's a blip. And then the third thing, which is probably the main thing out of all this, is what meaning are you giving to your sort of issue there, okay? So anyway, this is John Howell for this another session here. Make sure you say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and that is success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.